Hey everyone, if you're new here, my name's Joelle and I resell part-time on several platforms, primarily Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. And today I have a what sold video. So I have my notes here and we're going to be going over my three platforms, Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay, what my best sales were, my quickest sales, and finally we're going to go over my worst sales of the month of April. Poshmark is my main platform, but also the platform I am frustrated with the most because of all of these updates that the app is making, but it still remains my top platform. So I will mostly be going over sales from there, but I also got some really crucial and important sales on both eBay and Mercari. So I am really excited to share all of these sales with you. Hopefully you all will get some good BOLO brands or trends for spring and summer from these sales, and let's just get right into my best sales of Poshmark. First up, we have one of the best BOLO brands if you are looking for denim. I sold a pair of new with tags Madewell jeans, and the style is the perfect vintage straight jean. So this was a retail arbitrage find. I actually spent $18 on these, and they were a size 23, which is very risky. I want to say that translates to a size 00, which is not a commonly sold size online. But when I looked up comps were anywhere between $75 and $100. So I went ahead and listed them higher at $100. So I ended up selling these jeans to a guest buyer. If you are an online reseller, you know how much we appreciate those guest buyers because they always seem to purchase at full price. So this person purchased the jeans for $100, and after those fees and cost of goods of $18, I ended up profiting $62 on these jeans. This next sale was another full price sale, and it was one of my quickest sales as well. I sold a pair of Doc Marten platform sandals. I have now found 3 pairs of Doc Martens at thrift stores, and my cost of goods have always been under $10. And those shoes have always sold within 2 weeks or less of listing. So if you ever find Doc Martens, I think that it is almost always worth it to pay up for them. Obviously, it depends on condition of the shoes. All of mine have thankfully been in pretty great condition, but this is just a brand that people are willing to pay up for online. So like I said, this was a full price sale. I sold these shoes for $90 and my cost of goods were $9.98. So I ended up profiting $62.02. My final best sale on Poshmark was another retail arbitrage find, actually from the same haul as those Madewell jeans. So I sold a pair of new with tags Joseph Ribkoff jeans. Also, looks like my dog is gonna join. Usually he just sits on the ground and stares at me while I record these videos, but occasionally he wants to be right next to me. So he'll definitely be in some of this footage. But again, I sold these Joseph Ribkoff jeans. I actually didn't realize that their jeans were a good category to be on the lookout for, but when I looked at comps for the new with tags denim, a lot of comps were in that $75 to $100 range. So like those Madewell jeans, I spent $18 on these, and I think it was 100% worth it because both of these jeans were listed for just 2 months, and I ended up profiting a quick $46. All right, now that we have gone over my best sales of the month of April on Poshmark, we will now go over my quickest sales. So when I say quickest sales, I define that by selling within 2 weeks or less, and I think this is really important because a lot of these sales were either BOLO brands or trending items for spring and summer. First up is a great brand to sell on Poshmark. I sold a pair of LL Bean cargo pants. So this was a bins find, and actually my first time ever selling this brand. I am so sorry if you could see what's going on right now. He is just needy right now. Thought I gave him enough belly rubs earlier, but he might want some more. But back to the LL Bean. So I do think you need to be particular when sourcing for this brand. I purchased these because it was a great pair of outdoor pants. I looked it up and the style name was the Vista Camp pant. And anything that is catered to an outdoorsy lifestyle or hiking, I think is always a great thing to sell online. So I had these listed for $35 and I received an offer for $25. Again, because this was a bins find, I was able to let it go for that price. So I ended up profiting $17.72, and these sold within the first week of listing. These next 2 items are definitely part of spring and summer trends. So first up, I sold this brand new with tags cropped cardigan from Francesca's, and this was from the same bins trip that I found the LL Bean pants. If you ever see any cropped cardigans, bonus points if they are plaid or an argyle pattern. I think you should always pick it up as long as you can find it at a low enough cost of goods and it is a good enough brand to sell online. Anytime I go into a mall or a department store, I always see the cropped cardigans right up at the front. Definitely a trending category, so you should be on the lookout for it. So I had this listed for $25, and right when I listed it, somebody liked it, and I do get an immediate like on a new listing, I always send a 20% off offer rather than my usual 10% because I love getting a quick sale. This proved to be effective because within the first couple hours of that person liking it, I ended up selling this cardigan. So it was that 20% off offer with $4.99 shipping. I did not write down on my notes how much I profited for some reason, so I will put it below. But if I saw this cardigan again at a thrift store, I would 100% pick it up. All right, we have one more quick sale on Poshmark, then we'll get into those eBay sales. But I sold this New with Tags Guess bodysuit. So this was a collab with some DJ, I think his name is Jay Galvin. But I say that this is a trending piece like that previous sale because it is green, and green is a great trending color to be on the lookout for this season. Even better if you could find something that's sage green, but I thought that this was a great vibrant bodysuit that was perfect for the springtime. So the MSRP on this was $49, and based on suggested comps, I listed it for $30. Somebody ended up offering me $21, which I thought was really reasonable, especially because it had only been listed for a few days. I ended up accepting, and again, like that cardigan, I did not write down my total profit. I took these notes while I was nannying during the girls' lunch, and so I feel like I just kind of missed out on some stuff, but it looks like that is the only other one that I missed out on. But again, I will put it right below. Okay, now that we've gone over Poshmark, we will now talk about eBay sales, then Mercari, and then we'll go into those worst sales. So my first best sale on eBay definitely shows the power of cross-listing. I sold this Tularosa Rocky Eyelet wrap dress. Tularosa is a huge BOLO brand. It is one of the main brands sold at Revolve. I want to say this dress retailed for $138, maybe a little bit more, and sold comps for this dress were anywhere between $40 and $100. Now, I found this dress almost a year ago at a Goodwill. I spent $5 on it, and it got upwards to about 20 likes at a time before I would relist it. I think it had been relisted on Poshmark at least 2 times, and it just would not sell. I listed it on Mercari, Curtsy, it just wasn't getting any attention on there. And so finally, after I got over my fear of eBay and finally started listing, I ended up selling it within a week of listing it. So this did sell at my full asking price of $50, and I ended up profiting $42.14. But my next sale on eBay that I'll go over was one of my quickest sales and one of my best sales. I ended up selling this Kobe Bryant throwback Lakers jersey. This jersey I have had probably since I was 12 or 13 years old, and I really just never wore it. It had been sitting in my closet, and I just really wanted to send it to somebody who would appreciate it more by wearing it or hanging it up. I just didn't want it sitting in my drawer. So when I was researching this jersey, I saw that sold comps were anywhere between $80 and upwards to around $150. I ended up listing mine for $120, and it was actually a weird situation. The buyer offered me $100 overnight, but then they ended up just purchasing it full price. I think maybe they were afraid that someone else would buy it, because they did end up paying it immediately, so they were not a scammer. But my cost of goods for this jersey were $0, and I ended up profiting $100.10. So this was a huge overnight sale for me, and it occurred when my Poshmark sales were extremely slow. I think I went at least 2 days without getting a sale. So I was really counting on eBay to pick up the slack, and they did not disappoint with this sale. All right, my final sale I'll talk about from eBay was another quick sale. I ended up selling this Eddie Bauer sports vest. So Eddie Bauer is a really weird brand to resell online. Comps are all over the place depending on category. Kind of like those LL Bean pants I talked about, I purchased this vest because it was very related to sports and anything related to outdoors. I had this listed on Poshmark for around 4 months, and it wasn't getting a ton of attention. I think I had even lowered the price to around $15, but I finally decided to list it on eBay, and it ended up selling within a couple days of listing on a $20 offer. My cost of goods were just $1.25, so I ended up profiting $15.85. All right, now that we're done with eBay, we'll move on to Mercari. Mercari was very slow for me at the end of the month. I made a what sold video around the beginning of April, so I kind of went over some of my sales then. Since I already did one of those videos, I'm going to talk about my sales at the end of the month, so I just have 2 sales to go over. But my best sale was my best sale of the month on all of my platforms. I ended up selling a pair of Jordan 1s on a $135 offer. So these were pre-owned, and they came without the box. They were in pretty good condition, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of cleaning shoes. I'll do it if I need to, but these shoes shoes really just had some dirt on the soles. The rest of the shoe looked fine, so I ended up just disclosing that in the listing. I had these listed on Poshmark since December, I believe, and they were getting a ton of likes, but no offers at all. So I listed them on eBay. They actually sold on auction for $150, but it ended up being a scammer and they did not pay. And I ended up looking comps on Mercari for this specific shoe and they were pretty decent. So I ended up listing for $150. So that $135 offer was very reasonable. That's just $15 off, which is honestly something that I would end up sending. So I accepted that immediately. My cost of goods for these shoes were just $7 and I ended up profiting $110.28. So not only was that my biggest sale of the month on all of my platforms, that was also my biggest sale that I've ever had on Mercari. So despite all of those changes on Poshmark that have affected my closet and a lot of other closets, that sale ended up being a huge pick-me-up right at the end of the month. All right, my quickest sale is something that I would not pick up again, especially for the $4 cost of goods. But I did end up selling a pair of Airy Chill Play Move leggings. I have had these listed on Poshmark for almost a year. It's been a really long time and they weren't getting a lot of likes. And again, $4 is just way too much in my opinion to spend on pre-owned Airy leggings. But for some reason, I had not cross-listed these onto any other platform. I decided to list them on Mercari and I only listed them for $15 because I was hoping for a quick sale. That ended up being effective because I did get a $13 offer within 2 days of listing these leggings. So I ended up just profiting $6.15. Although that profit was not big by any means, I consider it a huge win because that really proved how effective cross-listing is, and I ended up finally getting these leggings out of my closet. All right, so for worst sales, I have one sale where it's a brand that I definitely wouldn't pick up again. It ended up being a pretty decent profit, but it was a long time that these shoes were listed. And the other worst sale is just a pair of shorts that I have had listed for almost a year. I would never pick it up again based on brand, style, color, really just a lot of things. But first up, we have a pair of Jack Rogers, and the style is the Alana Thong sandal. I paid $7.50 for these at Plato's Closet, and I have been familiar with Jack Rogers since I was a little girl. I knew that they were expensive, and these shoes were in almost like new condition, and so I didn't even look up comps. I ended up purchasing these without knowing a lot, and it was a long time ago, back when I was a little baby reseller who really didn't know a lot about what brands just didn't sell for as much. It's actually funny because I did sell another pair of Jack Rogers this month, and it was from a ThredUp rescue box. But again, I just don't think I'd pick up this brand because comps are anywhere between $10 to $15 and then upwards to around $50. I just think that for me, it is a huge risk, not knowing the price point that I will sell these shoes at. But I had these listed for $50. I think I had recently relisted them, and I ended up sending a 10% off offer with $4.99 shipping. Someone ended up accepting it immediately, which was pleasantly surprising for me because in the past, I was willing to let those go for around $25 to $30. So to get a higher price sale was really relieving. So I ended up profiting $25.82. And when I say I wouldn't pick up the brand again, I really mean at a higher cost of goods. If I found these somewhere like at the bins where I could get them for under $2, I would definitely pick them up because I know I could at least make a decent profit, but I would never spend over $7 again for these. All right, the final sale I'm gonna go over was a pair of Old Navy shorts. They were new with tags, which is why I picked them up, but I would never do it again, especially for the $3 that I purchased them at. I wanna say these retailed for maybe $25. I think I had them listed at $20 originally, and they got a couple of likes, no offers at all, and they'd been listed for quite some time. I would pick up Old Navy if it was maybe a nice jacket or some jeans, but these shorts I don't think I would ever pick up again, even if they were at the bins. I did end up selling these pretty quick after relisting them again on a $13 offer with discounted shipping, and I ended up profiting only $4.37. All right, we are now done going through my best, worst, and quickest sales on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. Thank you so much for making it through this video with me if you're still watching. I hope that you found some good brands, categories, and styles that you could be on the lookout for this spring and summer. And if you want to see more reseller content like this, I hope you consider subscribing to my channel. I'm getting close to 900 subscribers, and once I get to 1,000, I definitely want to do a giveaway coordinated with my Instagram. And I also want to let you all know that my Instagram, it was a thrift page at first where I would post drops on there, but I am in the rebranding process and I will now have it a little bit more catered to my online platforms like Poshmark and eBay and Mercari, and also catered to this YouTube channel. So if you do want to see more of what my life as a reseller is like, then you can go ahead and give me a follow. It's also Closet by Joelle, and it is linked in my channel and below this video. And you can stay up to date on the giveaway, which will hopefully be happening in the near future. But as always, thank you all for the channel support. I really appreciate all of your views and your feedback and your comments. And I really hope that you have gotten something out of this video and out of my channel. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. And now that we're at the end of the video, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you for the next video.